Hello, this is Adam Henderson, and I'm showcasing the last game I played at the 2024 World Cup. This was against Cheng again. He was having a terrible tournament, and we faced off in the last game. I think we were both pretty discouraged at this point. I think we both still wanted to win our last game, but at the same time, maybe a bit fatigued and a little bit discouraged from both of us feeling like um, the tournament didn't go as well as we had hoped. But we will take a look at this game. So he exchanges 4 on this first move. And I drew very poorly with the W, U, and Y. And I decided to play through this one. Let me just make sure I have the photo I took of this game. So I played Y here. And he plays Arrestor as a natural. It's a nice find. You can also play Rearrest. Alright, so Arrestor comes down. And I have the word iguanid on my rack, so of course I'm going to play iguanids. He plays hay. And here's the first real move of the game that I'd like to analyze. So I drew completely terrible, but I decided to go with, I also had Ixia, but I wanted to get rid of one of the U's. Yeah, this is a tough one. IIRU. Let's see. Because the thing is that if IIRU is less than -22, and it might be as a leave, then I should probably just exchange here. And exchanging, it says that playing exchange IIU here is actually a better move than trying to play through this, which I think actually makes sense. So it's a -19, so it's not worse than -2, but the thing is, the leave of, there's a lot of math involved in figuring out whether you should exchange or play a play like this that scores 22. I guess my thinking was it was better to score 22 points than to exchange, but the thing is the rack of EIRX is such a positive rack. So 3.3. So it's actually and then IIRU. So the math is IIRU is -19. So you have 19 plus 3.3, and that gives you 22.3. So it's like 0.3 better. So it's not like a huge difference, but I don't know. I just think it's a lot better. Because you have 2 I's and a U is just terrible. It's like a -19, so your next play is not going to score very well. You're much better off just exchanging here, I think. So that's why exchanging is better. I also had your AI. Okay, so that leaves me a big X spot and 2 places. So yeah, I can see that that's better. Also a Tui. I'm not really sure why a Tui is better. If there's an expert who knows what the idea is behind a Tui. I can clearly see the idea behind your AI. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, guys. But anyway, I went with O. But yeah, the leave of IIRU is just terrible, and I shouldn't have done that. Um, so Chris here plays QI, just laying down the Q. So that gives me a chance to not lose immediately. But I drew another U. So I have this terrible rack. I hope I exchange. No, I decided to continue to play through it, which... So actually I had rigor here. Yeah, I think that's better. I went with Guru, which exchange... There's all sorts of exchanges that are better than Guru. But I played this a bit too quickly. Again, I was just discouraged. And when you get racks like that, it's hard not to get discouraged because those racks are so bad. But in times like that, it's sometimes because you don't have a lot of time to just kind of sit back and like catch your breath because 25 minutes goes by so quickly. But sometimes if you can just when you get a rack like ORRUUII, sometimes it pays to just kind of take a deep breath and let yourself feel frustrated for maybe a brief moment before you kind of nail down and get focused again. But yeah, unfortunately, the time for me to he plays Zainab, so the respite was over. He scored this for 57. It's actually 66. So he actually misscored this by 9 points in my favor. And yeah, what a terrible... And this wouldn't have been available to me if I had found my best play of rigor too. He wouldn't have been able to play that. So that's rough. I don't think I'm gonna analyze this entire game. Yeah. So like my best score is Oi. I went with just Ion here. I guess that's because I'm trying to bingo, so that makes a little bit of sense. He plays Beer. Oh, I had Soprani. Oh man. Yeah, that's a pretty bad miss. I know that word. I know that word of Soprani, but it's not a word I've studied recently. That's why I missed it. So I found Spaz instead, which is I think Spaz is still no. They re-added. That was one of the few they re-added. That used to be not valid because it was a slur, but now they re-added it because it wasn't slurry enough. And here he plays War, blocking my play to the X. Yeah, I had Mirex. I had Mirex there. So I was going to play Mirex, so he blocks that. So a very smart move on his part. So here I just played on. Trying to keep my best leave while scoring some points. And finally he puts the final nail in the coffin with Devisal. Actually, his next move puts the final nail. So I have this rack. I played Prim. It really doesn't matter where I play here. I'm just gonna lose. Where did Prim go? Okay, I played it here. Undoubling the M and the R. And then he just puts the final nail in the coffin. He draws the last. Well, he actually, there's 2 blanks. But I can't recover from this next bingo. So he plays activate. And yeah, that is the game there. And so there's no recovering from this kind of deficit. It's 150 points. There is a blank still out. I can probably show a few moves still, but the game's pretty close to over. So yeah, I basically had to bingo with this rack, which has no bingos. I played emote here. Satola comes down, good play. And this is like the final rack where I definitely needed a bingo. So I did have handier here, but I missed it. Where does it play? Okay. Yeah, that's crazy that I missed handier. I played each hard here, which I should have just seen handier. All right, well, yeah, I think this was just a case of I was just so discouraged in this position that I missed my bingo. So I wrote handier on my rack. So if I had played handier, I think chances are I still would have lost. But it's hard to say. All right. Thanks, guys. If you like my videos, please subscribe and put a like on my video. It helps the YouTube algorithm. I'm looking forward to going over my games from the Labor Day tournament in Portland. I only went 6 wins and 14 losses. And I don't think I played particularly bad. I think it was just my opponents were stronger than I was. And so it'll be interesting to look at those games. And yeah, until next time. See you guys.